Now, I want to ask you a little question to start with tonight. Are you confused about the Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen cases this week and what in the world they have to do with Russia? Now, there's also that Pakistani IT guy who worked for Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Democrats in Congress. He stole hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly violated all kinds of security clearances, but the judge says he won't get any jail time. But former General Michael Flynn might. Does that sound a bit fishy? Maybe a little? Well, the mass media is having mass hysteria because a lawyer who admitted to numerous instances of lying, tax evasion, and loan fraud says that candidate Trump made an improper $130,000 expenditure of his own money for something that had nothing to do with the campaign. Now, the same media yawns that Hillary Clinton campaign spent over $9 million from campaign contributors to finance a phony document that was used in a conspiracy with people in the highest levels of the FBI and Justice Department that would influence the election, and then later to delegitimize the election results. Now, to be clear, if Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen fail to pay the same taxes that you and I have to pay, they deserve their punishment. Let's be clear about that. And if they lied to get bank loans, I got no sympathy for the consequences they face. But if the only people who seem to get in trouble are Trump supporters and not the people in the highest levels of government who have openly expressed their desire to stop President Trump, it makes cynics out of those of us who believe that justice is supposed to be blind, but not stupid. The entirety of the Mueller investigation was supposed to be about Russia. I want to say it again, nothing in either the Manafort or Cohen cases were even remotely related to Russia meddling in our elections. Now, in fairness, the guilty verdict on Manafort's past and very personal sins and the guilty plea by Cohen about his tax evasion and lying, that wasn't helpful to the president. It really wasn't. But the president isn't responsible for what people around him did, especially when it happened before he even knew them, or maybe it had nothing to do with him, but rather their proximity to him, which gives lots of ammo to his enemies and is a real distraction. Look, I want the president to be focused on the job he was elected to do, despite the fact that his opponents would rather the country fail than this president succeed. So to be blunt, just so you know, there are some sleazy people in politics. Trust me on this. I know them. And some will use their closeness to candidates and office holders for their own personal gain. I myself have been heartbroken by people that I've trusted. I've employed people who betrayed my trust. They lied to me or about me and said diametrically opposite things within days of each other for their own advancement or advantage. But here's what I want you to do. I urge you, step back, take a long look at the big picture and ask, who is accusing who and for what purpose? Who's getting piled on and who's being allowed to skate and why? One thing is both certain and sad. The kind of politics of personal destruction will result in honest people not wanting any part of running for office or serving those who do run for office, whether they are Democrats or Republicans. My friends, when we routinely criminalize the political process by seeking to overturn elections by criminal courts, rather than by simply winning the election by better campaigns and better messages, it's not the defeated candidate who loses. The country loses, and we do great damage to a constitutional process of checks and balances. And that is my view. I welcome yours.